Understanding the unit circle. So, first off, what is the unit circle? The unit circle is, like the name implies, a circle, and the origin being that point, and it is normally, or how I like to think about it, split up into the top half and the bottom half. This being 2 pi, and this being pi. So the reason why each is each basically is when you go a full rotation from starting here all the way around, that's going to be 2 pi, which is equal to about 6.27-ish radians. So that is how many, in a radian is the radius on the circle. So if we have this as 1 radian would be 1 length of 1 to here. If we had 3 radians, it would be 3, which would be right around here. So, with that being said, when we have a fraction, for example, 2 pi over 3. When we have 2 pi over 3, well, because this is less than 1, that means that it has to be less than pi, right? Because the other way. So 1 or 2/3 is less than pi, or less than 1, sorry. Which means that it has to be in this top half. Now, to find exactly where 2/3 is, we can split the top half into thirds. So 1 line there and 1 line there. Now, with it being 2/3, we're going to shade in this one and shade in this one. So now our point is right here. We're going to do another one. So we draw the circle. This is the point, or the origin, and we're going to do 5/3 pi. 5/3 pi. So split this in half, top semicircle, bottom semicircle. Since it's more than 1, that means we're going to be on the bottom. So we split this into 3, and just to kind of help, we'll split the top into 3 as well. So now we're going to count 3 1/3. So 1, 2, or we start always here, because that's kind of just where we start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're here. That is where 5 pi over 3 would be. Now, one thing that helped me understand what all this is pi and 2 pi are basically equal to 360 degrees. That is equal to 360 degrees, and this is equal to 180. Which is why, if we were to substitute pi for 180, we would have 5 over 3 times 180. And that would give us however many degrees we are. Which in this case, I think it's 300. So 5 pi over 3 is equal to 300 because pi is essentially equal to 180 degrees if you were going to convert them. Now, understanding that, we're going to go to the first question of the practice quiz. So 3 points and their coordinates are shown on the unit circle. Which values A, B, C, D, or F, A, B, C, D, E, or F is equal to the cosine of pi over 6. Well, pi over 6, we're going to split this into 6 parts, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, that's not really great. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, we'll say they're even. Now, we're going to go, what this really is 1 pi over 6. So we're going to go 1/6. and shade all this in. So now we're at AB, points AB. Cosine and sine. Cosine and sine. What do they mean? Cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, what does adjacent mean when we're in the center? When we draw this triangle that will get us to there, it'll be X and Y. And then when we connect, ooh, that's pretty bad. And then that's our angle. When we're adjacent, it's always going to be this one. It's always going to be the X. And that's why cosine is X, because it will always be adjacent if you draw the triangle like this. Now, sine will always be the height of it, or the Y, because it's the opposite of it. From this angle, the opposite would be the Y. And that's why sine is Y and X is cosine. So now we're going back to the question, cosine of pi over 6. Well, if we know cosine is X's, that means we just need to find this value and not the height. So knowing what we do about triangles, if this is 1/6 of pi or 1/6 of 180, then we know that is 30 degrees. Now, if we know that's 30 degrees, that makes this triangle a 30, 60, 90. Right here. 30, 60, and then the 90. Now, what's special about 30, 60, 90 triangles is if we were to duplicate this line over, or this entire triangle over, it would make an equilateral triangle. This would be 60, or this angle, and this angle would all be 60, making all their lengths the same. So these would also be the same. Now, let's say we were to cut this triangle in half. Boom, and we forgot all about that. Well, by cutting it in half, this length is going to stay the same. This length is going to be cut in half. That's why it is 1/2. And a squared and b squared, when you get into that, this next length, the height of it, or in this case, the x of it, right here, that's going to be the square root of 3 times 1/2, or the square root of 3/2. And that's why the cosine of pi over 6 is the square root of 3/2. We really didn't need to solve for that. We just needed to know if it was the x or y's. And because we're looking for the x's, it would be a. So all of this was a little extra, but that's just to help you understand.